the Yi4k Plus with external, reversible, wind-protected audio, including a selfie light on a gimbal without any motor noise showing up on the audio track within a lightweight and compact setup. Impossible? Not anymore. Let's start with the gimbal first. This is the Feiyu Tech G6. It's a dedicated action camera gimbal. Its roll axis is slanted, or lowered if you will, compared to other gimbals, which makes it easy to access and see the action camera's monitor. 1/4" mount on the bottom, super important for attaching quick release plates and tripods. Also, its batteries are replaceable, which is important for 2 reasons. Number 1, you can have enough batteries this way to get you through a full day of shooting, and should the original battery wear out, it's super easy to replace it with a new one. Also, super cool, the gimbal offers charging your action camera via a connector right here on its moving part, which is super important because this way, once the charging cable is applied, it doesn't compromise the range of motion of the gimbal. And on top of this, you're getting a quality all aluminum build. What we need are 3 mini cable clamps like these. Cover comes off. The first one is applied on the gimbal right here, and it opens this way. The second one opens like this and is applied right here, making sure this still opens. Third one also opens to the right and is applied right here. Same precaution, this still needs to open. And this is what it's supposed to look like. 1 in the front, 2 in the back. We start with a screw-on cold shoe mount for a 1/4" connection. Notice how the hole for the screw is not centered but off to the left. This is important so later on we can position the microphone correctly so it works with 4K Ultra mode. The 4K Plus has a 1/4" mount on its bottom, and this is where this goes. You have to install it exactly like this, with the larger part pointing to the back of the camera, not to the front, and also slightly turned this way so it's not perpendicular with the action camera. This will allow you to place the mic correctly later on. Now we need to prepare a larger cable clamp that also has adhesive tape on its back because it needs to fit the cold shoe mount like this. There's 2 ways. You can use a custom fit piece of 3M dual lock, a heavy duty, sturdy, all plastic kind of Velcro. This is the low profile black version. Place it on the back of the cable clamp like this, and now it has become a perfectly snug fit. Option number 2, just use a couple of layers of some kind of tape that is available to you. In my case, with the tape that I'm using, 3 pieces did the trick. And once again, snug fit. Also, definitely make sure it is applied this way, not this way, because this way allows the microphone to sit further back, which is important for 4K Ultra video modes. Loosen these screws enough so you can slide in the 4K Plus, slide the camera in, and you won't be able to slide it all the way up to the axis. That's because the cold shoe mount blocks this movement, but that's fine. Secure the action cam, tightening these screws again. With them, come all the way back here because it makes for the best fit, making sure you can still hit the on and off button. Next up, this proprietary Yi USB-C to 3.5mm 3-pole audio adapter cable. The 3.5mm 3-pole end comes right here, just like this. Then we're going to run the cable across the front of the action cam using this cable clamp, just like this. Next, we're going to run the cable across the back using these 2 cable clamps. And then the USB-C part plugs into the action camera. Now, to make sure the adapter cable doesn't compromise the range of motion of the gimbal, like it does right here, reposition the 3.5mm 3-pole end of the adapter cable. Open the cable clamp, slide it in a little further, and also push this in a little more. And this way, we're good to go. Last piece of the puzzle, FM15 Flexi Mic from DJI. Basically the smallest combination of a mic capsule, a shock mount and a 3.5mm 3-pole jack you will find anywhere. And as the name suggests, it is very flexible, which makes it perfect for this setup. For the best wind protection, we need a micro dead cat. This is the EWS003 from EduTeach, and this is the EWS004 from EduTeach. Both of them work very well, with the EWS003 having the slight edge. Then the most important thing that makes it all work is not this cable, but this tiny bendable wire. Apply the dead cat, use this strap to secure it, so it looks like this. And now what we want to achieve is a slightly more than 90-degree bend, like this for example. Mic check goes through here. And then this looks about right. We need to fixate it like this. Little bendable wire goes through here, just like this, then secure it in this position. Now pull on the strap until the angle is right, move it up here in between the two legs of the bendable wire and fixate the wire around this end part of the dead cat to fix it in place. Optional but tidy, wrap the ends of the bendable wire around the end part of the strap. And this is the finished end result. And now the microphone plugs right into the 3.5mm end of the adapter cable. And since this whole microphone is so super lightweight, you do not have to reinforce this connection via tape. And there we go, microphone attached. Only two more things left to do. Make sure the mic positioning works with every viewing angle. So at least once, go to 4K Ultra and make sure the dead cat doesn't show up. Then make sure all the audio settings are set up right. High or low doesn't make a difference with an external microphone. Sound effect, choose stereo because wind protection is accomplished via the dead cat. And then of course, make sure external microphone is set to on. And then you're good to go.
Quick little audio test with the internal microphones of the Yi4k Plus, internal volume set to low, then raised in post-production to an adequate level. I could have also set them to high, but whenever I do this with my camera, and hopefully that's just my camera, there's some kind of a high-pitched noise coming in that totally ruins the audio for me. Also, I'm shooting this in 4K Ultra video mode to show you that in fact the dead cat doesn't show up on screen. Now these were the internal microphones set to low. Now let's check out what they can do for us set to high. Same little test, internal microphones of the Yi4k Plus, internal volume set to high this time. And in my opinion, this is overdoing it a little, it's too loud. So, if you want to use the internal microphones, my recommendation is to use the low setting and then later on in post-production, raise the audio volume to where it makes sense. So much for the internal microphones. Let's check out what the external microphone can deliver. And now this is what you're getting from the DJI Flexi Mic. Hands down the best overall audio performance. No motor noise whatsoever, no high-pitched noise, wind protection, and should you feel like narrating a scene from behind the camera, just flip the mic around and get going again. So much for mic comparisons. Let's move on to wind noise tests.
As I mentioned earlier, charging the action camera via the gimbal is an option. Therefore, Feiyu Tech included this USB-C to micro USB charging cable. As of now, with this setup, unfortunately, simultaneously charging the action camera and using external audio is not an option. But I will think of a solution to this problem with the next iteration of this setup. So, unplug the microphone, micro USB end plugs in right there, and then of course the USB-C end plugs into the action camera. And as you can see, as indicated by the green battery icon in the top right hand corner of the screen, the action camera is now charging via the gimbal.
After sunset, because of their small sensors, action cameras, as far as low light performance is concerned, aren't doing so well. So here's a little help in such situations.
To set it up, we need a mini ball head like this one, with a base like that, loosen this part, and then screw it in completely, because we need this part to not move at all. Then we need a small piece of 3M dual lock. This is the low profile black version. Then of course we need the light source, and this Picogen mini LED light with 3 brightness levels works perfectly because it has a flat surface, which is exactly what we need. Custom fit a piece of 3M dual lock to fit the back of the LED light. This is what we're going for. Then custom fit a piece of 3M dual lock to fit the bottom of the mini ball head. Now put the two pieces together, and now this is what we're going for here. Now screw the ball head into the 1/4" mount on the side of the gimbal. Then use the ball head mechanism to fixate the light in whatever position you need it to be in. And there you go. Using a micro USB to micro USB charging cable like this one, it's possible to charge the mini LED light via the gimbal while simultaneously charging the 4K Plus via the gimbal. Now as far as tripods go, this Coleman magnetic copter is my first choice. Sturdy aluminium build, rubber feet, one height, and of course the obligatory quarter-inch mount on the top. Also, a sleek design choice that fits the overall setup perfectly. Also a great choice and the more versatile option because of its ball head mechanism, which is strong enough for this setup, a black Manfrotto Pixie. So, Paulo Hatake, thanks a lot for this challenge. I hope you enjoyed the video, like hopefully everybody else did. If so, please make sure to leave a thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated. Any kind of comment or feedback is welcome, and I'll try to answer as quickly as possible.